Hey, how's it going, guys? So we are at Portland Regionals. We just finished Top Cut Day 2. I have with me
Mark Garcia.
Awesome. And what place did you get?
I did bad Day 2, so I'm at 38th place.
Hey, 38th is still it's still something. You start getting points, so it's always good. What did you play this weekend?
I played Drampa Garb with Bayonet.
Nice. And how do you feel about the deck going into Day 2?
Oh man, no, going to Day 2, terrible, man. I knew that the matchups, like, there were a lot of bad matchups. But this is like the perfect Day 1 deck, though, in my opinion.
Nice. All right. So let's get into the list and see exactly what you're playing. All right.
Sure. All right. So guys, so start off, I did the basics. So I got 2 Drampas. I think 2 is the way to go. 1 is way too risky, especially if you want a big wheel, like your first turn or second turn. And then the standard Garb line is 2 Toxin, 2 Trashalanche, and then we opted to go with 3 of the Acid Spray, and then 1 of the
Garbage Collection. I think Garbage Collection Trubbish is lit. It's so good. Like, it helps you not get decked out, and then it just helps you get the resources that you can't get back with Puzzle.
Yeah, like, so I use this in the Sableye Garb matchup. I Bridget, or I Mysterious Treasure, and I got this Trubbish first turn, and I just made sure, like, if he trick shoveled or anything like that, or if I need to discard something like a Super Rod or a Stretcher, I bring those back. So it's pretty useful in like mill decks.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's the skeleton of Drampa and Garb. I also played a 2/2 Bayonet. I think this card's the vocal point of the deck in particular matchups. So against Buzzwole, against Trav, against Mirror Match, I think like Bayonet is so good. I think the only matchup you don't want to play Bayonet is like Zoroark and any other fringe deck. But this was like my main attacker for most of the day, especially against like Executor too, because it doesn't get one-shotted.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then this attack right here is super underrated. I use this a lot to discard like Zoroark's DC or Groudon when they're attaching the special, because Groudon needs 1 special fighting to 1-hit KO a Bayonet.
Right.
Yeah. And then standard 3 Lele. We were thinking about going to 2, but I needed to make sure that I get Bridget turn 1 and get a supporter follow up. Nice. And this deck plays a lot of one-of supporters, so it's pretty key. And then this is like our tech card. So this is like a space open for whatever we thought was going to be in Day 1. So we wanted to make sure that Zoroark matchup is 100% correct. So we put Sudowoodo
to kind of limit their attack strength.
Yeah. Like, so against Zoroark, they're gonna try to Field Blower your tool on your Garbotoxin. So at that time, your roadblock works. So it's like kind of like a puzzle. Like, because you're trying to do a parallel lock and then your Garbotoxin lock. If they Field Blower those 2, then they have to go through Sudowoodo. Yeah.
So they waste a turn taking 1 prize, and it kind of helps with the numbers too.
Exactly. Like, they can't one-shot your Drampa. Yeah. That was the biggest worry.
Nice.
So,
so we're gonna get into the supporters.
Sure, supporters. We got here, I think this is the consistent supporter right here. So we got the jaw supporters. We got 4N, 2 Juniper or Sycamore, and then 2 Chorus.
I always played 7-3.
I liked it. I think it's always a comeback deck. You know, mid-game you're looking for the N Toxin, and then that usually takes the game for most of the part. And then we didn't want to commit to 4 Juniper, so we could always Lele for whatever you needed at that turn.
Right. So doing the 2/2 split was a more comfortable way of going about it.
Yeah. I didn't have a problem. Like, I didn't open like Chorus like first turn. Like, I never had that problem.
Nice.
So really nice. And then off to our 1-up supporters, we got 1 Bridget, 1 Acerola, 1 Guzma, and then 1 Delinquent. I like the 1 Bridget. It's a risk I'm willing to take if it's prize.
Right.
But luckily enough, it wasn't prize at all this whole tournament, so it was pretty good.
Never punished.
Never punished. I mean, there were turns where like I even opted not to play. Like I don't know if I looked for it, but I played like 2 treasures and I had like 2 basics. So it's like, okay, at that point, like if I could just set up 1 Trubbish, then I'm gonna play my draw support and just get more outs.
Nice.
Acerola, this is a card that like really helps the mirror match. You could also do like some trick plays where you have like a Bayonet and then a Shuppet. You can move, Shady Move, and then bring it back and then Shady Move again to reach the numbers.
Right.
But most parts, usually on like a Drampa for Righteous Edge, and when they hit me back, I just bring it back up and Righteous Edge again or a Lele. You know.
Cool.
1 Guzma. Again, like this deck doesn't reach. It's more of a defensive deck. So if you need a Guzma, you get it, but it's not a priority to like kill something, you know. So
usually Guzma in the late turns for like that finishing knockout, anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. And then played 1 Delinquent. So this Delinquent was originally a Field Blower, and we just really wanted to stick our own parallel first. A lot of decks play parallel. If they're not playing parallel, then we can stick our own parallel.
Yeah.
But that was the problem in testing is like, oh, they stick a parallel, and we're like, oh shit, like what are we gonna do?
Right.
And so Delinquent came in handy, and then like obviously there was a lot of games where, you know, the opponent had less than 3 cards, and then they just drew dead after a Delinquent.
Yeah. So would you say that Delinquent was the MVP of this weekend?
In terms of like a trainer, yeah, I guess so. But cool. Bayonets was the MVP in my opinion.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we're on to stadiums. 3 parallel.
It's a very heavy count of parallel.
Well, actually, the standard was 4.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like a lot of the people played 4, but we wanted to do 3. It was more of a bench space or like a deck space cut. Yeah.
Cool.
And then on to our trainers. For our tools, we did 3 choice and then 4 float. Yeah, I think we cut the choice. We didn't really need it in most matchups. Yeah, I don't know why. Like today was just kind of weird. The decks weren't that we expected to play. We didn't play. So choice wasn't really a problem because we played like a Sableye, Executor.
Yeah. All these decks.
One of attackers, like so.
Yeah.
It didn't really much need it. So I actually was really happy that the tool count was what it is.
Nice.
For our search, we got 4 Mysterious. We didn't play Ultra Ball. We figured, you know, we're searching for Lele, and like the only card we needed that's not a sidekick is Drampa, and Sudowoodo, and we could just get that off Lele Bridget. So that as much resource we can conserve, the better. Yeah,
and you also don't want to like overextend with like dropping too many items.
Yeah,
because then the mirror match becomes really rough.
Exactly. Yeah. And then 3 VS Seeker. We didn't play the 4th. We didn't think we needed it. It was also one of those like, what can we cut so we could fit other cards? Other
useful things, yeah. Do you feel that cutting the 4th VS Seeker was a correct choice, or were there situations throughout the tournament where you were like, I really wish I needed a 4th VS Seeker?
We were aware that we were playing 3 VS Seeker, so it wasn't a big problem. At any point, like where you feel like your resources are running out, you could always like Tomb Hunt GX with Bayonet. But besides that, like just always, you know, I'm always constant of like what's in my discard, you know. Right. And so I also want to play more like hard supporters, so that way I could activate Bayonet. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. And then we played 1 Dowsing for our A spec. Never had a problem, you know. Dowsing was pretty good. I didn't want computer search. You know, you prefer having the option of pulling something from your discard pile. Exactly. That's more useful than pulling something out of the deck. Yeah. And we kind of like acted like this was a 4th VS Seeker too. So like it was like an acting card. Right. And then we played 1 Super Rod, 1 Stretcher. Yeah, I wouldn't change it. Like this card is much needed, especially against mill decks. There are a lot of mill decks today. Yeah. And then for our energy count, we got 6 Psychic. And then 4 DC. Nice. 10. We see a lot of players play like 9 energy. I don't know how they do it. I think 10 is okay. It's the good number. Yeah. I mean, there were times where I whiffed Psychic, so I wish we had more Psychics in this deck. Okay. Cool. But didn't want any other special like rainbows or mystery treasure or mystery energy. Didn't want it. I think the basics is the way to go because the mill deck's just hit it.
Yeah, and also hammer, it's less targets for hammer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any changes you would make to the deck? Add-ons, takeaways?
I mean, Sudoku was nice, was really nice. I mean, it won me a lot of the matchups, but I don't know. I think the deck was really fine as it was. In a right meta game, I think this deck would go really far. But you know,
but this weekend was not meta.
Yeah, I mean the first day was expected. Like this is what we expected to play, and then we played against it,
which is good.
Like Trev wasn't a bad matchup. You know, Zoroark, any Zoroark variant besides the Mill Zoroark, it was really nice. And then the Buzzwole and any fighting deck was just like an easy win.
Yeah, those are free wins.
So we thought, okay, the big three, let's go have a good matchup, or at least 50-50, and pretty good. We did not expect this much mill and like these like fringe one single attacker decks.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
So that's the list right there, guys. All right, guys, there you have it. So out of day one, what was one of your hardest matches?
Day one, I think, so I tied against one of my teammates, Israel Sosa. We ID'd it, but my loss was Night March.
Night March?
Yeah, so Night March is also a bad matchup because I didn't play Oricorio.
Oh.
So the trade is really bad because the basics.
Yeah.
And then our Garbador, the trade is just terrible, and then if you bench a GX, it's over.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my only loss and then that and the Mill Zoroark deck. Yeah.
Who did you play that was playing the Mill Zoroark?
Jimmy Pendarvis.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. It's a terrible matchup. He runs you out of resources and he gets
all the stuff back.
He gets all the stuff back by Rangerberg. So
yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, it's hard. Going into day two, since you saw the meta kind of developing, what were your thoughts? What did you strategize for day two?
You know, I really thought like, okay, if I could dodge certain matchups, you know, I could probably make it, but there was just a lot of bad matchups. So my expectations weren't that high. There was like a bunch of Mill Zoroarks, a bunch of Sableye Garbs, a bunch of Sylveons, a bunch of Night Marches, you know. So all those combinations of like decks, and then I didn't expect like Executors to make it. It's just like, it just kind of puts like a you know, lower your expectations kind of bit. So
okay,
whatever.
It happens.
Yeah.
But yeah. We have Virginia coming up. Will you be going to that?
No. I think my next regionals is like Anaheim.
Anaheim?
Yeah.
Which is expanded as well. Which is great.
Yeah.
So any thoughts of that? I know that the meta is going to change because Lost Thunder will be legal.
Yeah.
So any maybe top three that you're thinking of for Anaheim?
I haven't seen the set yet. So I mean, if the tournament was tomorrow, there's definitely decks that I would consider playing. Like a lot of people always hype up the newest craze.
Right.
And right now it's like the Mill Zoroark or like the Archie's toys, you know.
Yeah. Which Archie's toys made a comeback. We thought it was dead, but I guess now that there's no Hex, it's very dominant.
Oh yeah. And then there wasn't a lot of Drampa Garbs. So it was able to capitalize the rush, you know. So there was nothing stopping it really. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Mark Garcia, always a pleasure to have you on the channel. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to share the list with anybody that wants to know a good Drampa Garb list that made day two. Guys, with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks.